Alrighty, boys. Welcome back. Whole gang here. The red corner. Boys, welcome to week one of the off season officially. A lot has actually happened since we last got together. The Dodgers have won the 2024 World Series. Freddie Freeman has won the MVP. The Phillies have some new owners. I'm not going to get too far into stealing anyone's thunder on all those items, but guys, Slim, let me start with you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to rehash a little bit about the Dodgers World Series. This all happened late or last week already, so it seems like a
Yeah,
lot of this has passed. But we're here to catch you up on what happened last week when we weren't with you, and then a little look ahead to see how this week's going to finish off.
absolutely. Bones, how we doing? How's the weekend?
I had better weekends after Saturday's game with Penn State, but
All right.
looking forward to getting into talk about the Dodgers World Series title last week, and then what's ahead in the Phillies hot stove and the rest of the baseball world.
Yes, sir. And as far as the Dodgers go, I mean, that series, this is why baseball is great, right? Because, yeah, the Dodgers won in 5 games. But if you watched game by game, that series was a lot closer than that, right? I mean, you look at game one, the historic Grand Slam, and then even as looking at game five, where it all ended, the Yanks looked like they were in good shape, right? And then they had what was probably one of the worst innings you'll ever have in pro baseball. Just insanity, insanity.
And absolutely, and I think what you saw though was, and this has been a theme, I believe with the Phillies, and now we see in the World Series, is the self-inflicted wounds, and
Yup.
knowing one thing, in Major League Baseball and baseball in general, the fundamentals are going to take you the furthest. The Dodgers had the better fundamentals, and let me, I'm sure some of you've seen this quote, but let me read you this quote. What the Dodgers told their players in the scouting meetings was the Yankees were talent over fundamentals. That if you run the bases with purpose and aggressions, the Yankees will self-inflict harm, as was exposed by Betts, Tommy Edman, Freddie Freeman, etc. That the value was very high to put the ball in play to make the Yankees execute. They mentioned that the Yankees were not just the major's worst base running team by every metric, but the difference was vast on the field between them and the Padres, who the Dodgers beat in the NL Divisional Series, but were impressive in this area. They were thrilled at how short Yankees' leads were at first base to potentially be less of a threat on pivots at second, where Gavin Lux does not excel. They said their metrics had the Yankees as the worst position outfield, and I think one of the outfielders in that Yankees is asking for $660 million. They were
Yes.
amazed at how many times relay throws came in skittering through the infield with no one taking charge, and how often Chisholm Jr., for example, was out of place or just standing still when a play was in action. First things first, when the ball is hit, all 9 guys should be moving. Everyone's moving. The Yankees weren't.
Are you talking to Garrett Cole, perhaps?
I'm talking to the Phillies next year. So when I'm
Gotcha.
watching the Phillies throughout the year, you build those habits. You just don't go into October and all of a sudden your defense is better. You got to be chasing the ball every single time, all
Right.
162 games from April all the way through the summer months into September, and got to be well prepared. Muscle memory, execution in October, baby, and that happens on defense.
100%. 100%. Slim, I'm glad you got that out of your system. I know you were chomping at the bit. And guys, listeners, thank you very much. I know we got to do this. You hear this in every podcast, but we're checking the analytics, and over 50% of our listeners are not subscribed. So please like, subscribe. You see our information right there. Been a big week for us. We eclipsed 500 subscribers on YouTube and 500 on Substack. So thank you very much. You're going to see a lot of the engaging opportunities and different raffles and stuff that we're going to be doing for y'all. So yeah, so thank you very much, and like and subscribe. Bones, how to get that in there before I kicked it over to you? Give me your just thoughts on the the World Series overall, however you want to take it, and then we'll transition on to that $700 million man that Slim just alluded to.
Yeah, so it was pretty hectic series after, you got the game one you talked about. Great game pitched by Cole, and then Freeman hits the walk-off grand slam.
Right.
And then next couple games are just Dodgers take the 3-0 lead. Looks like they're going to go in and sweep. And then Yankees win game 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a lock in the Yankees for game 5, up 5-0,
Yeah.
making fun of the model.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's the second team I jinxed in a week. They lose that game. But it start like Judge dropping that fly ball.
Yep.
I think that would have been like 1 out.
That's correct.
And then Volpe with the fielder's choice play he did, and then Cole. I don't get that one at all. Why he wasn't even close to covering. I mean, he's falling off the mound that way. So basically, he's pushing on the first base. Should be covering. And I just think that him doing that was just a buildup of everything else that happened that inning.
100%.
There should have been a mound visit.
Should have been a mound visit. Listen, the three you just highlighted the three kind of bonehead plays, right? The Judge thing, that's 1 in a million, right? He muffed the ball. It happens. Doesn't happen a lot, but it happens. And then the Volpe, every baseball coach in America was scratching their head because you're up 5-0. Take the out, right? Take the out at first. Don't try to make the tough play at third. Get the out. And then he didn't get the out, and look what happened. And then Cole covered the bag. And now, granted, I do think first baseman could have got there, but like Slim said earlier, everyone's got to be moving. You're a pitcher. You're not a pitcher. You're a baseball player, right? Go cover the bag. So, listen, we're getting fired up here, and we're not even Yankees fans. I was watching that. I was about to go watch The Penguin, episode 4, and I was like, whoa, hold on here. We got ourselves a game. So, insanity. I don't know if we'll ever see a meltdown like that again. I was happy that it was to the Yankees and not the Phillies. But, Slim, you mentioned this earlier, and we got to get into it. The $700 million man. Let's talk about him. All types of stuff going on. Yeah, just dive in.
So, right off the bat, I think there's a reporter out of New York, John Heyman. Is that how you say his name? That's who I'm following every single day, waiting for the breaking news to see where Juan Soto goes to. But here's the truth. I had it at 9%. I'm going all the way down to 3% this week.
Oh, wow.
And one part is I'm not interested. Okay? If it's going to be 12 years, $260 million, I can't have it for someone who down the line might just be a DH again. What I'm worried about, and like I said, I had a quote in the opening about the World Series, and I have another quote from another Dodgers pitcher. Joe Kelly went on to say after the either today or right after the World Series, it was a mismatch from the get-go. If we had a playoff re-ranking, they might be 8th or 9th best playoff team. Talking about the Yankees, you're putting the Padres ahead of them. You're putting the Phillies ahead of them. You're putting the Mets ahead of them. You're putting the Braves ahead of them. The Guardians played like crap, but the Guardians played better defense and better baseball all around. It was a complete mismatch, and here we go. All we knew is that we had to play regular Dodger baseball. We didn't have to do anything crazy, and we were going to go to win the World Series. Look at that team. Look at the talent. We go through numerous scouting reports. We pay attention to every single detail. We have a lot of big superstars in our clubhouse, but our superstars also care about not being lazy and playing hard. That's the difference, and that's the big separator. So, if you look at Garrett Cole, he screams arrogance. Juan Soto, I mean, I was a big Juan Soto fan when he comes up, and I know he's only 26 years old, but he screams arrogance. Judge screams arrogance, and these are guys I don't think I want to invest $660 million into.
I'm going to key it up over here to Bones in a second, but to your point on screaming arrogance. So, you saw the quote Now, where Soto basically said, or let me correct myself, where his agent, who we all know very well, do you think it was he had the puppet on, right? And he was talking like Soto, saying everybody's got an equal chance? Or Bones, do you really think it's just narrowed down to those 4 or 5 that we've already talked about?
Yeah, well, I don't think he's going out west again
Yeah.
because they were already seen like it wants to be closer to Dominican Republic. Out
Yep.
west ain't going to happen. And I know Dodgers got the money,
Yep.
so they said they're going to be in play. But I think that's just him just building up the market.
Sure.
I think it's going to be the 3 teams that we talked about:
Yep.
us, the Yankees, and the Mets. And then I'm actually on the opposite of Slim.
I
My
am too.
percentages went up.
Yeah, so let's talk about that real quick. So before you give your percentage, let's just have that. So the last time we had, and we're gonna be doing these all season, right? Or until the announcement is ultimately made, right? So we're gonna talk about where we originally predicted Juan Soto. So Slim, who you already mentioned, he was originally at 9%. Bones was at 1%, and I was at 3%. Slim went from 9% down to what was it, 1%? Chris?
3%.
To 3%. You went from 9 to 3%. So Bones, originally at 1, where are you at now?
I'm going like 29, 30%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going up.
Okay.
Just because uh, the way Middleton is coming out there saying like he's willing to go above that threshold
Yeah,
for a certain player.
right.
I don't know where else that certain player would be. I don't think they're going to go out and get a pitcher, another ace pitcher, and do that whole thing again. I
Right.
just think it's money coming off the books with Schwarber
Mm-hmm.
next
Castellanos.
after this year. Castellanos, Real Muto.
Mm-hmm.
That's close to $60 million. And I was reading reports. Bob Nightingale was talking, or no, Jim Bowden. I'm sorry, it was Jim Bowden saying, like, with that money coming off the books, they can kind of front load or make it a little less in the front and then backload the later years. Maybe go up to like maybe 15 years since Soto's only 26. So
Right.
make it like he's like 40 years old.
Yeah, so on my end, I started at 3%, and I like you, Bones, I'm going to tick that up. I'm going to go to 12%. That's where I'm at right now. I think there's a 12% chance that the Phillies land him. That in mind, thank you to all of our subscribers, right? Because we put a poll out to all of our Substack subscribers, and we got a lot of responses. And our poll was very simple. Where do you predict Juan Soto will sign? The choices were the Yankees, the Mets, the Phillies, the Dodgers, and other. So the Yankees came in at number 1 at 56%. The Mets the Phillies number 2 at 25%. The Mets number 3 at 19%. And both the Dodgers and other got 0%. So most of our listeners are thinking actually the Yankees are number 1, leader in the clubhouse, and then the Phillies. Look, we're going to get a little home cooking, right? Because we got mostly Phillies fans as our subscribers, but I was surprised to see that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Can I make a couple comments with this
Hit,
on
absolutely.
the Soto situation?
Yeah.
So I believe I saw today that the Yankees offered him $21 million, which absolutely won't get it done. For comparison, I think the Mets just gave both their pitchers, Servino, and I'm going to how do you say his name? Mania?
Manaya.
Minaya.
Mania
Manaya.
Minaya.
Servino.
Manaya.
They
Tamata.
both got offers for $21 million. That's what the Yankees just offer Soto. So I'm not sure if he'll be with the Yankees next year. The Yankees are kind of they're not looking like they're going to be a good team next year. So I'm not for our listeners, I don't think he's going to be a Yankee. My second team, or team I would also add in there, is I disagree with Bones again. I could see him going
Damn.
to. I could see him going to the Giants
So you would
in the
have
Bay
voted
Area.
for
I could see a
other.
Bay Area spot.
Okay.
Yes, I would have voted for. I would have voted for the Mets, then other,
Got it.
then the
So
Yankees and the Phils.
so them qualifying offers that they got, that's just for they can either accept it or they can just go into free agency. That's just the general number for everybody. Like I
Right.
think by
20.
position.
Okay, so that's
Yeah, that's
set
just
by
to
the
get
league.
like compensation from the team, whoever they sign with.
Well, so again, per comp, Minai is going to be going from 13 million to 21 million for 1 year. I don't know what Servino will be, what he was last year, but I don't think it was 21 million. And Soto, as we know, is not going to accept that.
Yeah, but they'll still get like they get a first round pick, like compensation pick from whoever
Sign
they sign
Soto.
with. Yeah,
Okay, that's good to know.
but
That's a
I got the
universal set
opposite of
number, and there's the comp pick.
I got the opposite of the listeners.
Okay.
So I would
Reverse
go
order.
Mets, us, and the Yankees. I think the Yankees are out of this race.
Really? What makes
Yeah.
you say that? Just kind of similar like what Slim was saying?
I think it's going to be the money thing. And
Okay.
just the familiarity with Harper, Turner, and that whole group, like getting the band back together.
Got it.
I think the Mets are just going to come in heavy, and that's going to be the put them over the top. But I think the Phillies will pay up with the Yankees.
Right.
They're on the same boat, and we'll get into that when you take us into that one.
Absolutely. So, again, we're going to be doing this all off season. We're going to be checking in on where we're at with Soto. We'll update on our Twitter and all of our socials where each of us landed as of week 1 of the off season. Guys, before we transition, and this is not a trick question, Slim, do me a favor. Tell me what this is. It's not a trick question. Tell me what that is, Slim.
You're frozen on my screen right now. I can just see. Oh, I can see. It's a black and mild.
That's exactly what it is. It's a black and mild. And this one might be harder, but Bones, tell me what that says. Can you see that?
Black and mild.
No, there's a particular name on there. Do you see
I
it?
can't. Juan Soto.
Juan Soto. That's exactly right. And Slim, who owns Black and Mild? Which family owns Black and Mild? Which family that is the managing owner of the Philadelphia Phillies? John Middleton owns Black and Mild, the Middleton family, right?
Does he really?
He does, yes. So I'm not going to kill your eyes again here. So I'm going to set this Black and Mild, always wine, right? It's been probably 15 years since I dabbled into these. So if the Phillies land Juan Soto, the red corner, will honor John Middleton with this product of his that I can't believe you guys never knew that Middleton owned Black and Mild.
No, I knew
I
that.
didn't know
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I knew that.
All right. So let's move on over to the next topic here. So the Phillies this is all tie-in, add 3 individuals to the ownership group, right? All limited partners. No one will be the majority owners. So that remains helped with the Phillies. It's 2 local real estate guys and 1 mystery man. So before we get to the mystery man, guys, do we think why did this happen right now? Slim, what do you think?
Why right now is because they want more money, and
Yeah.
when there's the family that's known right now that went in with it is the Morgan family. They're the biggest
Yeah.
private real estate, one of the biggest private real estate companies in America.
Yeah, they're a big apartment owner. Yep.
What does that mean? Because I broke down I was looking at the numbers, and I got John Middleton owning 48% because I didn't see anything with how much the buy-in was. So I'm assuming I can only assume they're at what 1% because John
Nah,
Middleton
probably
owns
a little more than that.
how much? Because I didn't see any figures. So
So
we're
we'll play
truly
this
in the
speculation
figures I
game.
found were they actually went over 100%. I got Middleton 48.75, the Buck family 32%, Middleman 32%, and then Gillick and Montgomery's family 1% each.
Yeah, so the percentages were not disclosed, right? So Middleman, who's the guy who owns Freedom Mortgage, you're familiar with the arena over in Camden, his mortgage company. He bought in last year.
Still called that?
Is it not called that anymore?
I don't know. They change all the time.
Yeah, they do change like every other year, so maybe not. But anyway, so Bones.
What did he buy in at? Because he looks like he has a nice chunk.
Yeah, so he purchased the Buck family shares, a good portion of their shares last year. They did not release the percentages. To your point, it's not going to be a lion's share. I'd imagine that the Middleton family is still the largest stakeholder, and they're still the managing partner. That did not change. John is. But as far as the other percentages, I don't know. But the more important thing is, Bones, do you think that this, capital injection into the company is a coincidence, or do you think it has a lot to do with a lot of these rumors floating around?
I think it has a lot to do, like it's a little both.
Yeah.
Probably just not because of Soto, but they're trying to emulate what the Dodgers are doing. Dodgers have they have big backers in their group, so they got all the money in the world. They're going to have to, they got to compete with the Mets and Co. And he's just by himself.
Right.
So, in order to do that, got to get more money.
Right, and then the others, so you could have the school of thought of it's just, this was in the works already. They just happen to announce it now, or it's, like you said, the Phillies are trying to get some more cash flow flowing through for things like hiring, signing big free agents like Soto, and also there's all the rumors going around right now about increasing the sports complex down there, right? And the Phillies are bought into that. The Phillies also announced a huge project to their pro store, the New Era store. So there's a lot of big money projects going on. All could be linked in. I just wanted to know if you guys thought there was something bigger here, because it is funny how it's right around the time all the Soto rumors floating around.
Well, yeah, you gotta throw that out there, especially going into these meetings, these GM meetings. They're going to be meeting with agents all week. Yep. So they're going to say, "Yo, we just got these people in here. We got the money. Tell us where to sign."
Yeah.
And then there's the aspect of, hey, imagine we just bought a team, and we're going to be hanging out with our friends, and I can be like, hey, I'm the guy that brought Juan Soto to Philadelphia,
Right.
So there's definitely some of that. I'm not going to say what whatever that little whatever. There's definitely a factor of that. And I'm unsure. I'm sure it was probably in the works, especially if we find out that maybe it was part of the Bucks family portion. Who knows? The figures, I guess we'll wait to see what they look like.
Yeah, if you read the article, they were also very deliberate in what they included, right? And they also made it clear that the Middleton family also added more money. And my take on that is why that the Phillies PR team Middleton wanted in there is they do not want it to make it seem like Middleton's not doing well financially, right? Which I think he is doing well financially. But I think they wanted to make it very clear that wasn't the case, which is why they added that he also added more money, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. So we'll be tracking that. If anything else hot pops up on that.
We're going to give a take on the mystery guy?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. So, yeah, give me your mystery guy.
He already owns part of a team in Philadelphia. I was thinking about this for a
Oh,
while. How about Kevin Durant?
Uh,
interesting.
my
Okay.
God, I thought I had some wacky ones. Kevin
That's a
Durant, I hope
funny
not.
one. When you said that, I thought you were going to say Voldemort in Josh Harris, but I'm glad that you
Hopefully
didn't say
not.
that. Yeah, exactly. Uh, Slim, who do you have as your mystery guy?
I
I
got a
have
few
one.
names. I got a
Oh,
few
cool. Let's
names.
go.
I got. What about Kevin Bacon? What about obviously the other one would be Bradley Cooper. A
Right.
third one, Elon Musk. I
Okay.
got Martha Stewart, and my last
Okay.
one, um, Skinny Joey Merlino and Pete Rose.
So the mystery thing you could take two ways, right? One, it's just a person who wants their privacy, right? Which is the less fun of the two outcomes. Or it's a controversial person, right? And the Phillies don't want his name out there. So, like Skinny Joey Merlino or maybe Elon Musk right now, those would probably check that box. But like I thought about that, like Kevin Durant. That's funny you said that because I thought of like Ryan Howard. Because I know he was really big in investing
Yeah, he's
post
doing
career,
well.
really well. So I thought it'd been cool with like the 2008 guys kind of like put a little investment group together and bought in. But wouldn't they want that public?
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of ruled that out. But
Yeah, I
that was
think
my one guess.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, because why would they want to be anonymous? Everyone I thought of,
Yeah.
like,
Well,
um,
Josh Harris, the Phillies would not want to be known as associated with him. That's for
yeah.
sure.
And
yeah, but he would want a big piece of the pie. He brings in
what about the
real
Comcast
business.
guys?
That's also a possibility. Yeah. But I think same thing like what Slim just said. They would probably want a pretty big piece, but you never know, man. Um, but
No,
no,
I'm
that's
saying it's like whoever's in it. Maybe they're like, if they're a local businessman or whatever, some kind of agent or uh, work for some firm. What are the legal issues behind it or something? I have no idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have no clue.
right.
The Flyers just got valued at like 8.2 billion. They're like eighth in hockey.
The
Wow.
Flyers.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
no
that
sense.
makes.
$2 billion.
Well, they
No,
own.
8.2. No, that sounds wrong.
Yeah, that
I
can't
don't
be
think
But
right.
they're like
anybody would pay
eighth
that.
or something.
Yeah. Well, they are. I mean, the Flyers have a big fan base, and they own the building, right?
Yep.
So that's huge for their valuation. All right, boys, let's transition on to what else. So this is going to be a little segment here where we let Slim and Bones cook on whatever they want to talk about. Slim, I know you're chomping at the bit. What do you got for us? What else?
So my rant is still with your. We're going to see, as we talked about with the fundamentals. If you're looking at the hot stove already, it's the same name that I know we get on his case day in and day out for the last 2 years. But Nick Castellanos,
Yeah.
Bohm, and Marsh, these guys. I think at the end of last year, when we lost
Mm-hmm.
to the Diamondbacks, the rumor came out that Castellanos was being shopped around, and
Yup.
then we immediately came out and denied it. I don't. I think it was true. I think we're going to be looking to move off from these guys. The only truth is, besides Bohm, I don't think anybody wants Castellanos or Marsh. So even though I don't think we're going to get Soto, I think we're going to become flexible, and I think we're going to go out and find a I think we're going to. I keep looking at the Rangers. I keep looking at the Blue Jays. I tend to look over at the AL, but I think we're going to be making a big move with an AL team to potentially bring somebody in. I don't know. I who knows? But again, I think with getting rid of these players, we're going to be re-stressing
Yeah.
the defense.
Yeah, and look, this time of year, there's so many reports. It's hard to tell what's real, what's not, especially with all the spoofs out there. But I know there was just a report from the Phillies camp that was released that Castellanos, Marsh, and Bohm were all on trade rumors right now, right? So like any of those names could be going, which I'm not surprised. Any of those, right? I don't think any of that should be surprise anyone. All right, Bones. What
No,
do you want to do?
yeah, I'm not surprised about Castellanos. I mean, his value is as high as it's been
Yeah,
the last couple of years with the Phillies, and he's got a
What do you
cheap
need to get for
contract.
Castellanos? I don't think nobody wants Castellanos.
I like Castellanos as a trade deadline move, but the issue with that is, are we sellers if we trade him, right?
No,
So
no. I think he's such a.
know what? I'm saying
I think
I
going into
don't
a year,
like.
you gotta have a fresh approach. You can't have these same guys. We played Castellanos 162 games last year, and he's basically a negative in the outfield. His approach stinks.
eh,
It stinks. And then when you
he's
look at
not
the
a
Gold Glove,
negative in the outfield. He's not
when you look
great.
at, and then well, here's the truth: we gotta start being honest about these guys at defense. Who was up for the Gold Gloves? For the Phillies. The only ones that could even have an argument is Wheeler as a pitcher, and who else?
Stop.
We need
I
we
thought
need
I
people we
thought
need people who
stop.
are true. We need people who are true defensive aces. Castellanos isn't that, and then he's there to hit homers and such, and he has less than 24 this year, I think it was. And then same thing with Bohm. He was if you could put a lot of guys in position Bohm was in, and they would have more RBIs. I know he was in that RBI race of late, but there's people that would have had more because they would have more power. Bohm's a little bit better on defense, but I think there's a lot of third basemen that are better on defense than him. I think we really, really, really got to re-stress defense. We got to get a few people in here. We got to mix it up. I don't know who's going to be the tempo setter. Like I said, I still want to see a couple of outfielders, and I would actually like to bring in another pitcher as we wait for Painter to come
Yep.
along a little bit later.
Well, that's a Castellanos piece right there.
You say move him for an arm,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case,
right?
and then go out and get like another outfielder or whatever. But my thing that I want to talk about was we've been talking about Andy Painter, Arizona
Yeah.
Fall League. Another guy pitching is Griff McGarry,
Yeah.
who could potentially be like in trade pieces as well, like come deadline or even the off season to kind of get other arms or bats over here in potential trades. Pitching, I think he didn't give up any runs, had some strikeouts, but he had like 6 walks, so little command issues. But he just moved into the top 10 in prospects in the NL East.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so he's upping his value over there by performing well. Awesome.
So that's a name to keep a looking out on.
Who are you willing to move at this point? Because I'm willing to move any prospect outside of Painter to
Really?
bring in pretty much any big name. Yeah, if it's like a 2-for-1 type, I'm not sure, but I would probably move anyone outside of Painter.
There's
I think there's 3 guys off the list.
Yeah.
Say it again.
There's 3 guys that you don't move. I think it's
So there's 3. Who are those?
Painter,
3 then?
Painter, Miller, and Crawford.
Yeah, those are the 3 that I think most people would say are. I mean, untouchable might be extreme. I think the most untouchable is Painter, right? But Miller, I mean, the fact that we can plug him. So this is where it gets interesting, right? And you make a good point up though, Slim. But Miller allows us. Don't lose sight of this. Miller allows us to be flexible in trading Bohm or Stop. Don't forget that. Because he can get plugged in at second or third. So Turner's not going anywhere, right? So, and then obviously, as far as Crawford, he's probably second in line for the big leagues. So he might be, Rojas is kind of like gone because of him. If all said and done and works out.
Them 2 are just like moving through
Yeah.
the minor leagues like rapidly.
Yes.
So, and we got the All-Star game here in 2 years. Got to get young I think that's
Yep.
another reason why them guys are coming in
Oh,
the
yeah.
ownership group.
Yep.
Because they want to be relevant for that time, you know? They don't want to fall off.
Yep. All right, boys. Let's keep it moving here, and we got a very exciting segment here. And Slim, you got your memorabilia handy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let him grab that. And while he's grabbing the packs, I'm just going to introduce this to any of the listeners who haven't been subscribed to know about what we're about to do. So we're going to be opening packs here on this podcast, and we did a raffle for all of our Substack. There you go. You showcasing that for all of our Substack subscribers. It's very simple. In that box, in the overall, that box, that brand, there are 23 potential Phillies that could be pulled. We gave a raffle ticket to 23 subscribers. First two, we had like 100 people reply. The first 23, bam, got in. So there are 23 people out there that know their player. Slim is going to be picking one pack of cards each week. The very first card could be a Phillies player, and it could be Euro Phillies player. Or we might not get a Phillies player for 3 weeks. That's the random nature of this. But I buried the lead there. Whoever wins this raffle gets tickets to two free tickets to a Phillies game of their choice and a nice retro maroon Phillies hat. So Slim, I talked a lot there. Let's get this going, man. Let's open these packs.
Still in the plastic.
Freshy. And again, just move it up, and now it's the player. Hopefully we can see.
One pack.
One pack. And I got the list here of our guys.
9 cards.
9 cards.
For those
Here we
that
go.
don't know,
Here we
9
go.
is my lucky number.
First player.
Alex This is going to be a
Who we
great
got?
time. Manoa. I think he just opted out.
Okay. Try to put it a little bit closer.
Taylor. Can you say it?
Bring it a little bit closer. Yeah, that's good.
Taylor.
Do that every time. Beautiful. That's a signed card. Is that a signed card?
Look like it.
They all have the signature on them.
Oh, all right.
Could have been.
Ah.
Would we be better off?
Manny
You know what I
Machado.
gotta talk about?
That ain't signed.
No. Is
That
he
one was.
stashing the signed cards there on us, Slim?
No, it was.
Yeah.
And boys, you know what I wanted to bring up during my little rant?
Can you start announcing the players, please?
Former
Craig-
Philly great Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah. Craig Krimble. So far, nothing, guys.
Jake Berger.
Jake Berger.
Philly
All
killer.
right. Yeah.
Matthew Liberatore.
All right.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Dominic Fletcher.
Okay.
And if we're talking about stress and defense, who would
Diamondback.
rather have, Freddie Freeman or our guy?
Okay.
So this guy. Or
Yep.
our guy Harper. Who's better?
Copa.
Freeman or Harper, guys?
Okay.
And another guy who's been injured, a little quiet. Yelich. Christian
Oh,
Yelich.
Yelich. So no.
That's it. So
All right.
we're going to have to wait for next week to maybe pull another winner. No
There you
Phillies in
go.
that pack.
Keep on scratching.
Keep on scratching. Keep on ripping the packs, guys. Listen. This is a random event. We had no control. The very next player could be a Philly, or there might not be a single Philly in that box, which is highly unlikely. Alrighty, let's keep it moving here, boys. Let's go to subscriber question time. So Bones, get ready because the first one's coming to you.
You got it.
Let me pull these up here. We got some good ones this week. All right, so this is from William. Soto obviously is the big free agent being talked about, and maybe the Phils have a chance, but at what cost? Is that the missing piece, or do we use that potential money to build a bullpen or another starter and ride the same lineup out for another year?
So I don't think Soto is the player we need.
Okay.
to put us over the top. I think we are there, but they can't run it back. So I think they are going to use it to get other bullpen. They're going to use money to get other bullpen pieces.
Right.
I seen a report that they're looking at Tanner Scott, 4 years,
Yeah.
50, $60 million. It's another bullpen arm, good bullpen arm for higher leverage situations.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a guy that they looked at the trade deadline. So I think they're going to, like we talked about, go explore other trades if they don't get Soto.
Mm-hmm.
Explore other trades to bring pieces in, and then money to sign other players as well.
Very nice. There you go, William. Slim answered that for you. All right. Excuse me, Bones answered that. Slim, coming your way here, sir. This is from Fran. We are aware that the Phillies have a very good team. My question is, what is the most important move that would give the Phillies the best chance to win the World Series? I like that. So he just wants to be very concise. So no sitting on a fence, and I know you don't do that. But what is the most important move to give the Phillies the best chance to win the World Series? Slim. And I know it's a tough question.
I think we have to solve. I think we need a two-way center fielder. Someone who's
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer.
And someone who can bat. My second answer would be, but it's not really a move because he's staying there.
Yeah.
Is Turner has to become top five-ish shortstop at his position, right? He has to become a little bit better on defense again. So center field, I would like to see a two-way center fielder.
Mm-hmm.
Turner, the outfield. I know that's three answers there, but one two-way center fielder. Let's try to figure that one out.
I like that. I think I actually might completely agree with you on that. All right, last one, and this is a either-or question, so we'll let you both take a stab here. We'll start with you, Bones. This is from Zach. Bones, what Phillies reliever would you rather keep if you had to do an either-or, Hoffman or Estevez?
Estevez.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going to say.
No, it's back-to-back years that Hoffman came up short in a playoff game, in the playoffs in general.
Yeah.
And I want to give him the money that he's going to get on the market. So I would go Estevez.
Fair. What do you got for us?
I would go Estevez. I would keep him in the ninth inning. I wouldn't get cute with it at all.
Right.
Nobody on base. Let him come in. Let him throw 100 miles per hour. Keep it simple. Keep it moving.
Okay. All righty. This is the staple of the show. It's that on this day in Phillies history. What do we got, Bones?
So on this day in Phillies history in 2022, the Astros defeated the Phillies 4-1 in Game 6 of the World Series to capture another World Series title.
Sad day. And that was a very, very fun run that we did not see coming at all. But, all right, so the on this days are not always going to be a happy ending.
Think about how that run started with a new manager. I mean, I know we kind of open our whole red corner talking about Thompson, but
man, you're back on trying to get him axed, huh?
No, I'm just. He's not getting axed. It's his team. He's driving again. We'll see what's up. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait.
I got one thing before we sign off.
Closing thoughts.
Every couple years this comes up with the MLB Veterans Committee.
Yeah.
Dick Allen, again, is a finalist to go into the Baseball Hall of Fame, where he should be. He's already a Phillies Wall of Famer. Sadly, passed away, so he'll go in posthumously.
Mm-hmm.
But on December 8th, we find out if Dick Allen goes in his rightful place of the
Cooperstown.
National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
Yeah. That's a great shout out there. Dick Allen's one of those guys that you should read up on him if you haven't, especially if you're a baseball guy. He's a baseball player's favorite baseball player type guy. If you read about what he would do, just go and just do yourself some favor and read some Dick Allen stories, because he was a player you did not hear a lot about, but he was a legend. So I echo that. I hope he gets in, and fingers crossed. Boys, awesome episode. We hit on a lot. We did it in a tight 45 here. I thank you all for a great episode, and we will see you all next week.